Coming in hot, coming in hot. Hey y'all, welcome back to the bench. I've been progressing here along with this Hammarlund HQ 129X, and it's interesting. There's not a lot of there's absolutely no disassembly instructions anywhere that I could find. So there was some things that I came across. I'm going to talk a little bit about in the video, and you're going to see this. I'm going to try to go into a little bit more detail, but I finished up the recapping on the power around the power supply, the audio circuit, and now I've flipped the chassis on the other end, and I go into why certain things that I did while I was doing that. But again, there's no instructions on how to disassemble the front plate, the meter. So it just took me a little while to get all of that straight so that I didn't destroy anything. So with that, let me swing you around and let's get back into working on this radio. It is working. It is working, guys. And I did put some of it back together so that I put the tubes back in. Tubes aren't in now. Pulled them back out because I don't like working and soldering and taking measurements with the tubes in place, because they could have an effect on that. So the tubes are back out of the IF section and detector section, and let's get back into it. Let's go. Okay, you can see that I've started putting the components into place. This one down in the back here, that square capacitor, is a line to ground, but those are also noise eliminators or noise filters. So that's why I use those instead of the regular blue ones. They're wider ground, and they also help cut back on line noise. I've remounted the volume control, audio gain, I should say. Okay, that's in there. And the headphone jack capacitors are in. This is all part of the BFO. Both of these resistors were way out of spec. Capacitors were bad. I've worked down in here. These resistors, they are just in based on their tolerance bands. They are just in spec, so they're all staying. Okay, I've checked well, I haven't checked this one and this one yet. So next, I'll start working up here, and once I get this section complete, oh yeah, the filter can is still here and it hasn't been put in yet. I want to leave enough room to work down in this area, so I haven't mounted the stack yet. Okay, that'll go right in there. That's not going to be in the way. It'll just slide right in like that. Okay, so that'll be in there. And once I get this section all done, then I am going to put the dials back on, stand this up, and fire it up. And hopefully I've put everything back correctly. Next thing I'm going to do is put this can, this shield, goes in just like this, and it's bolted from the top. That sits in there like that, but I had to remove that to not only check the caps and the resistors, but to do any kind of work down in here. All right, moving right along. Okay, we're making progress. I pretty much have this front panel back on. Well, it is back on. Still have another nut to put on over here. Highly recommend, if you're doing this, make sure you have a set of hollow shafted nut drivers. You can get on these very easily. You're not going to damage or scratch the front panel, which is a key. Now, one of the other things I wanted to talk about were these pieces here. Now, when you take this panel off, I don't know if you can see it, but that black piece there is grooved, okay? That is made to fit over that dial plate from the back. So I can't do this. I need two hands to do this. Stand by. Okay, that frees me up a little bit. This has to come in from the back, sit on top of that, and then get screwed to the front. The problem is if you don't, yeah, there we go. If you don't seat the dial in that groove, then when you put the front panel back on, it's going to constantly be pushing on the dial plate. Now, a couple ways you can do this. You can do it obviously like this, because this is how I'm doing it, but keep in mind that I have this off. Okay. With that on, you can't get to the screws. Okay. So with that off, you can do it like this, or there are two screws here that you can take out and fit that back into place. One of the other things I would recommend is that, I mean, I had this all apart to clean it, but one of the things I would recommend, do not take those dial plates off, those dials off, unless it's absolutely necessary. Why? Why am I saying that? Because I did that. And when you take those dials off, the way they're geared in the back, down inside here, to the tuning capacitors, okay, it's very easy to shift the gear, because that shaft that's holding this dial on is you have to push that in and disengage it in order to lift that dial out. So when I did that, I must have moved the tuning capacitor. Okay, then I had to fiddle with it. Everything was way off. 77 was all the way up on 840 AM, broadcast band, shouldn't be there. So I had to take all of this off again. I'm going to continue to work on this. I have more caps to do, and I may have to pull this front panel again to get this back on, but I'm not quite sure. I might be able to get it from the front and push those pins in the back. Don't know. But I've taken this off so many times now, I feel pretty confident about doing it without having a problem. I'm going to move it from here. I'll get this, let me turn it on. Yeah, turn it off a minute. I don't have everything hooked up. Okay, I've got everything back in place. I reconnect. I didn't want to do that with one hand. But we'll start this up. I don't know what band I'm on here. Might be the AM band. Yes, it is.
You think older people are not so? Because in my experience, I mean, look, the person I cite the most is Rosanna Scotto. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're of a certain age. Tweeting, texting,
okay.
You name it, you know what I mean? Just totally embrace it. Yeah, I mean, I think mostly all young people are good at that stuff.
So we're working.
Few of the older generation are real.
But I'm not completely recapped. I've only replaced the,
nifty with their phone. Well, when it comes to
This one
showing
back
up to
on,
work
too.
on time, that's the problem. When it
And
comes
when
to
I get done, I'll swing you over here.
taking a day off, when you wake up in the morning and you feel a little bit tired and just taking the day off. Yeah. Tell me some other tip. I mean, like.
And this is all I've replaced. The filter. And you'll see underneath. But this is all I replaced so far. 2 of these caps were line to ground, so they were replaced with a safety cap. And the others were, they're all out of spec. And there were 4 resistors so far that had to be replaced, that they were way out. I mean, if they were close to being in, I left them in. But if they once they went out, I replaced them. So that's where I'm at. I'll get this thing turned around and back on the other bench where I can work on it better. And this is where we're at. I got to get this on. A few things to do, but we're getting there. Okay, we're back. We're back on the other bench, and I'm getting ready. Obviously, I've done all of the work up in here. Flipped the chassis over. Now, if you remember, originally I said I wasn't going to work with it with this panel on here, but all the weight is on this end. And without the panel on, there's no stability and it's liable to fall over. So I'm working with it with the panel on. So this is what I have to do. This one is on the oscillator. This whole section here is the oscillator section. So this one's got to go. All of these, I thought they were wax, but they're not. Interesting. You know, they look, where is it? I took one and I cut the paper off of it. Just a piece of paper wrapped around what appears to be a plastic shell, almost like a bumblebee, but without the stripes. I think I'm going to cut one of these open, see how it's made on the inside, but not right this minute. I want to get back over and start working on this. I still have quite a few capacitors, even down in here, between the resist. Yeah, let me see. Freddie, you got to get in there. There's 3 capacitors here. There's 3 capacitors here. Plus, I have to check all the resistors. So I got a lot to do yet. And I'm going to post this video, and maybe today is Tuesday, get a little bit more done and then shoot this video up. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Okay, let's zoom on in. I had to take this cap apart. It was bothering me. I just had to see what was in there. Interestingly, it's very porous material, whatever it is. You can see it didn't just come off like plastic. It broke apart. Almost like maybe a clay. It just breaks apart. But yeah, that's what's in there. I had to take a look. It's just a foil wrapped capacitor. Very similar to the waxies and the bumblebees. Kind of like a bumblebee without the bumbles. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. Take care, click like, and leave some comments.